everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Vanessa here from Lila Rask. Hope you're having a fantastic time. You're managing to get lots of sewing done. It's been a little while since I've been here having a chat with you, but I feel like I have been super busy behind the scenes, and I've now reached a point where I can jump on and share some goodies with you. So what have I been up to? Well, this is one of the makes. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen all of these already. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm going to take you all through these anyway, but I will leave the link for my page over there. It's the same name, it's Lila Rask. So jump on over to Instagram, find me, and share the love over on that page as well. I am today wearing the Kashmir Irving dress. I've had it on all day. I also had it on yesterday. It is the most fantastic. It's the most fantastic dress. This is the second one that I have made. It is in. It was described as a viscose jersey, but it's like a slinky knit. It's quite sheer, but it doesn't matter so much on the bodice of this because it is double lined. I'll pop some pictures in so you can see it fully, but I'll just quickly sort of like stand up and give you a little look here. I've done the best that I can to do some sensible pattern placement, not pattern matched as such, just very careful pattern placement, so there was no odd sections coming in places that you didn't want it to be. It's still quite warm here in the UK, so this is just a nice little throw-on dress. Let me give you a few details. So as I said, it's from Kashmir and it is described as a throw-on dress for almost the effortless summer look. It's a midi-length knit dress with a deep scoop neckline, bra-friendly strappy fitted bodice, gathered skirt with inseam pockets. Now for this one, because the fabric was so slinky, I didn't put the pockets in because I knew that I wouldn't be able to use them because it would just distort the fabric so much. But the first one I did, if I can find a picture, I'll pop a picture of the first one that I did in, which is in a proper viscose jersey. It does have pockets in it. The one that I did first, I had made the shoulder ties for. I haven't finished making the shoulder ties for this one, which what I tend to do is keep them loose, like I don't stitch them to the dress, I keep them loose so I can just tie underneath my bra strap just to keep everything in place. This one, for some reason, I've managed to get the strap a bit narrower and I've got quite a wide bra strap, so it's just peeking out every now and again, but I'm cool with that. You'll also notice on the first one, it comes quite low down. I don't mind that too much. I had been wearing that one with like a bodysuit underneath. It came a bit higher and covered the boobage area, but it's been so warm I didn't want to put that extra layer on. So all I did for this one is actually place the back bodice pattern piece over the top just to heighten the curve on this front bodice section, just so it is a little bit more covered, because I do tend to wear these dresses at work and I really don't need to be worrying about how much cleavage I am flashing to people. So this is a little bit more height appropriate in this fabric. With the Kashmir patterns, they do so this is part of, I think they call it the Grafton range, with it being the knit fabrics, where you can buy lots of different patterns for Kashmir, and the skirts and top sections are all interchangeable within each other. I don't think I have the dewy dress, which was one of the Kashmir club patterns, so I believe that can be interchanged. The skirt of this top can interchange and the top likewise, so you just get a little bit more bang for your buck on the pattern, and you can mix and match and get more designs, different dresses. I've also got fabric, I know I've showed it to you before, but I've also got this fabric, which is the same type as this slinky fabric, but it's in a much more summery print. Both of these came from Rainbow Fabrics quite a while back, sort of like maybe about 2 months ago, when they started with all their summer drops, and this was the Farm Rio dead stock, so that's going to be another one when I get round to it, another one to add to the list of the many things that I am currently sewing or planning on sewing. Let me give you a little bit of detail about this Irving dress. Let me get down to the size rangings. So there's typical size ranging for Kashmir patterns. They have two different ranges. They have a 0 to 16 range, which will go from full bust of 84 centimetres through to 112 centimetres body measurement wise, which is waist 64 up to 91 centimetres and a hip of 89 up to 117 centimetres. Within that they have cup sizes. So they have a CD cup option, an EF cup option and a GH cup option. So when you get a Kashmir pattern that have all these cup options, you will actually get the entire bodice piece for the CD cup, an entire bodice piece for the EF, and likewise the GH. They also have, which is one I fall into, the 12 to 34 size range. Again, you've got your CD, EF, GH cup ranges, but for this one, your measurements obviously designed for a little bit more curve. Your full bust is 102 up to 152 centimetres with a waist of 81 through to 132 centimetres. Hip is 107 up to 157, and that's up to a 32 size range. I can highly recommend that this is a very comfortable dress to wear. It says light to medium knit fabrics with 25% stretch both horizontally and vertically. You do need it. Now this one, it's okay, it's probably not got quite as much vertical stretch as horizontal, but it is important because if you've got like only stretch horizontally and no vertically, you're going to pull the fabric out, which is going to shorten your bodice section. So you need it to be stretchy this way as well. I don't know if you can quite see, the pattern might help, but it has a very slight curve. I think on my other one, the green one, you see it better. It has got a very slight curve down to the front here, and on the inside of it, I've got like big knickers on, like chub rub shorts, if I can show you them. On the inside of it, where you attach the bodice to the skirt, you actually go back and fix an elastic to that as well, which just keeps its shape and just draws it in a little bit more. So yeah, really good dress. So that is the first item I have been working on. The next thing I completed, and again I'll pop a picture on, but this is it in the flesh, is another good old favourite sage brush top. This, as soon as I saw this fabric, I knew this is the Crafty Pie Flower Child fabric, and it's a lovely substantial weight viscose. This was from last year's season of fabrics that Brogan brought out, and I just absolutely love this. I believe I got this as a remnant, possibly from So Much More, and I just knew it had to be a sage brush top. This is my second sage brush, and I just love it. It is a really enjoyable make, not too involved, doesn't take too long. Some people say it's a bit fiddly because of the neck binding, but I haven't had a problem with that. The first one of this I did as a collaboration with Jeanette, and the one thing she said to me is make sure when you put the sleeves in to remember to catch the frill. Don't leave the frill loose. You've got to stitch it down into that sleeve edge, and that's the only thing I can advise. If you've never made one, when you come to stitch the arms in, make sure that you're picking up that edge piece of the frill so it's stitched down. I can highly recommend making the sage top. It is just such a pretty blouse. As I say, I'll pop a picture in so you can see. Binding around the neck, which comes out, extends to make the tie. Little puff sleeves, and on this one you're probably not going to see it because it is quite detailed pattern, but I did actually include the option for the top stitching of the seam just above the frill and also on the back. nice deep hem. I do like a deep hem on a garment, but the drape on this is so pretty, and I wore this with just some stonewashed jeans. I just love it. I just think it's such a cute little top. I can wear it for casual, I can wear it for work. Yeah, love it to pieces. So that was the next thing that I completed. As I've said before, my wardrobe is seriously lacking in appropriate mixes. So if I'm wearing a dress or a jumpsuit, we've nailed it, no worries, because the top automatically matches the bottom. However, when it comes to separates, I have lots of pretty tops, I have lots of pretty bottoms. Unfortunately, because I love colour and pattern, I don't often get tops and bottoms that coordinate or match or do anything together. So I had the option of adding some plain tops, but also adding some plain bottoms. So that's what I've been working on. This is the first one I have virtually completed. I still have to do the hems on the cuff and also on the hemband here. But this is it to date. Now this is a pattern that came in one of the Coralie Bijasson boxes, and it's this pattern here. Now unfortunately you can't actually see very much from the pattern box itself, but this is the Envie top and dress pattern by Coralie Bijasson. The instructions, if I show you, I'll put it up. So here, if you can see that, there are lots of variations of the dress. So there's different options for the neckband here. You can have this tie edition, or you can just have it as a ring. You can have short sleeves, long sleeves, flat set-in sleeves, or these ones which are sort of like the ruched puffy sleeves. If there is an option, I'm always going to go for the ruched puffy sleeves. You can have it this t-shirt length, you can have it dress length, you can also go without sleeves. So there are lots of different options to choose from and variations, but also because clearly with a name like Coralie Bijasson and Envie, it is in French, but it is cleverly split into two. One side, the instructions in French, flip it over, and it's all in English. Very easy to follow. I've never seen any of her patterns. I probably would never have looked for any of her patterns, but it was in the Coralie Bijasson box. There's actually only 4 pages of instructions. It's a very simple construction, very nice construction. The bodice top is fully lined. If I just lift it up here, it has 2 layers. It's burritoed, so with that you attach your 2 sections, your front and back section, at the shoulders, and then you roll the entire thing sideways and then do your armhole opening, if that makes sense. So it all starts to become very neat. You get this beautiful clean neckline finish, and it's all enclosed. If I turn you round, you will see at the back, the front and back section of the bodice is separate to then this skirted section. So if this was a dress, that would obviously extend down, and this would be your kind of like under bust line to go down with the dress. But obviously this being the t-shirt length, it's just a feature at the back. This knot is actually really quite clever. I like the construction of this. So you just make your little, so to start with on the front bodice, you add these 3 pleats, which starts to create that bust shaping detail. You then make these 2 ties. Oh, what's that one? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. You make the 2 ties, and then when you're attaching the bodice to the skirt, you literally sandwich these in, and then that just gives you your ties fixed to the skirt section, and then you just need to tighten a knot wherever you want to be to ruche that up, just to give it a little bit more interest. This is a viscose jersey. It's actually quite a lightweight drapey jersey from Pound Fabrics. I've been highly recommended, and this was the colour I went for, which I thought was quite a pretty colour. I can wear that. Oh, I've got a thread there. I could wear that with quite a few different things. Again, it's something for work. Do I have anything negative to say? No, it's actually been a very enjoyable make. And I have a feeling that I might have put the sleeves in back to front, because when I wear it, there's a little bit of pull in an odd way. It might just be a fitting issue, but I have a feeling I might have put them like back to front. There wasn't a huge difference in them, just very, very minor scoop difference. So it's not bad. I can live with it. The other thing to say is it does recommend that you use clear elastic on the neckline. I had some prim elastic that was in a Guthrie Garney box that I've had for a little bit, so I used that in there. It's the first time I've used prim elastic, and it was actually very easy to do, and I actually quite like the fact that it's got really good recovery around the neckline. So that's that pattern. What have I done next? Yes, now this is, let me just move over here because I've got all the details for this. Now for these, there is a code that I'm going to give you at the end. I was a pattern tester for Tammy Handmaid's latest pattern, the Lila Panties. And again, if you watch me on Instagram or Facebook, you have seen quite a lot of me today. Literally quite a lot of me, because I felt, well, you know what, ladies, you need to know how much coverage your pants are going to have. So this fabric you'll have seen before. It's the fabric that I used, I used in the green version to make my Ellie and Mac anti-chafing slip shorts. I also had it in this colour, which they had on sale, which I think I can now safely say is completely sold out, but I got quite a few before it did sell out. And because it was part of a pack, it came with fold over elastic. So the pattern as it comes uses, oh my goodness me, I've just had a brain freeze. What's it called? Pico elastic. So the pattern shows you using pico elastic. Now I did do a toile pair of these that I have lost, and I used pico elastic on them. It was just cheap from Amazon. It wasn't particularly nice. I'm not a huge fan of pico elastic on pants, I've got to be honest with you. When I make them myself, I prefer fold over elastic. I don't know why, I just feel like I've got better control when I'm making them. So this is fold over elastic I've used. Now this pattern comes in two different options. There is the high rise waist and there is the regular waist. Now the 12 pair I made were the high rise waist, and for me they were just too high. The fabric I used wasn't the nicest either, so that really didn't help. So I made a second pair in my nice fabric, and this is the regular height. But what I did do with these is increase the depth of the waist by an inch, literally just by an inch. So just where the pattern ended, got my ruler, pencil, draw that extra inch on, so they've come out a little bit higher for me, just so they can kind of go over the mum tum rather than underneath the mum tum where they just roll down. This was a really, really nice pattern to follow. The entire, and I'm going to say this because I'm trying to think, but I'm not sure if I've done a pair of pants like this before, and I've used quite a few. I've done Kashmir Irving, I've done Llaya and Mac, I've done the Stevie Nicks, oh gosh, so many. The entire gusset section on this pattern is separate, so you don't have like an extension on the front and then you add the gusset in and it's that whole front then goes to the back. You've got a front section, you've got a back section, and then you've got a gusset section in the middle. I loved being a tester for that. I gave some feedback just to point out that, you know, maybe if people are using like different fabrics, to, like not cotton, because obviously this is like a performance lingerie wear. You wouldn't, I mean, you could, but you probably wouldn't want this on the actual internal gusset section, and this one actually does come with cotton anyway. Just to point out, maybe when you cut out the gusset sections, to just note that you're going to see one of them, so whatever your outer fabric is, you want to cut one in the outer and one in the, like a plain cotton, whatever you're using. Using the burrito method for the gusset, so there are no, as somebody once said, pockets where you have one flap end open, because who needs pockets in a pair of knickers? Let's not go there. Beautiful construction. I am not somebody who's made the Llaya tee. This is the first Tammy handmade pattern that I have had experience of. And all I can say is her instructions are faultless. They were so nice to follow. The things that you go, you should know that, like, to trim away when you make pants. If you've never made pants, please buy yourself this pattern. You will understand what I'm talking about. They are the easiest thing in the world to make, trust me. But you get little corners at the bottom of the leg where the front or back section meets your gusset. You get this little corner of fabric. She tells you to cut that off. Most people are gonna, it's obvious, but you know what? The fact that she's written it there, and it's not in a patronising way, it's an attention to detail. Lots of little things are an attention to detail. She gives you options of raising the waist. If you want more bum coverage, she gives you an option. And these beautifully simple but completely understandable and explanative diagrams on how to add a bit more bum coverage. Or if you want a higher leg, she shows you how to decrease the leg opening to make a higher leg option. Absolutely fantastic. So simple, but at the same time very thorough. Truly enjoyed making them, and I will be making many more pairs. Quite a lot of other vloggers that you'll know: Sam, Sequin Girly, who else did I see? Helen, Stitch Rip Repeat, who else? Oh goodness me, Tamlin, Sewn on the Time, have all bared their bums today on Instagram, or yesterday for the launch, showing their pants. And I thought, hey up chucks, let's get my bum out there as well, because you know what, let's not be ashamed of our bodies, and let me show you what a big girl's bum in a pair of these look like, just to prove the point. When you see them on Tammy and the others, they're little beautiful little lacy bits. When you look at lacy knickers like that, you think, yeah, but they're not going to go on my bum. Well, ladies, I've just proved a point. You can fit them on my bum. I made mine in a size 20 for reference. When you look at them, you'll see. I'll pop pictures in as well so you can see them. But yeah, really enjoyed them. Highly recommend you give them a go. And that's about all my makes. The only other thing that I got to show you is a little bit of fabric I got in a D-stash. Please don't ask me where from, because I can't remember now. But it's just this really pretty viscose. So that's just going to be perfect for, I was going to run up a little summer top. I'm getting predictable, aren't I? But I just thought it was very light, nice light, very pretty. So that's ready to get cut out. As I said on my last one, I got a baby lock. So most of these things that I have been sewing have been because I have been putting my new baby lock Victory machine to the test. And oh my goodness me, I cannot even tell you what a difference it has made to my sewing. I even, to the point, have ventured, and rather than doing a hem on this fabric because it was too much like hard work, I did a perfect rolled hem instead with the overlocker. No word of a lie, this thing is a dream. Everything is made super easy. So yes, I might be sewing an awful lot of knits rather than wovens for a change. But yeah, so that's everything that I can be telling you. So yeah, hope you're having lots of sewing. Please, if you like this and you're interested in any of these, which if I remember, get my brain on, because menopause brain, sometimes I say it on the blog and then forget to do it, but I will definitely try, list everything, links, patterns, fabrics, as much as I can remember. Please subscribe to my page. It costs you nothing. It means you'll be alerted when I do put a vlog on, and it just helps me get out there. The more the merrier. I'm sitting at about 843, and for us vloggers, the magic 1,000 is a real milestone, so I'm getting close to that. So please share, let your friends know about me, and just help me grow a little bit. Like, Please add some comments, feedback. If there's anything you'd like to know about anything that I've made, pop it on as well. Anyway, I shall leave it at that. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.